broadcast on scoping, as it's called, I guess, or I heard that this morning. Periscope. A friend of mine did this morning on his drive to work, so I thought it would be fun to try the same kind of thing, just for fun, on my drive home from the office. My office is in Woodbridge, Virginia. Exciting, downtown Woodbridge. And I'm headed home somewhere in Northern Virginia, outside Washington, D.C. Lots of bouncing there. Sorry about that. It is they're doing some construction out here. And I'm going to be taking, the cool thing about my particular commute is that I go against the rush hour. For many years, I commuted into D.C. by car. Later then, I went by train, metro. Those years of commuting by car, I would try to leave early in the morning before it got too wicked. I worked at the Senate, U.S. Senate, and if I got there early enough, I could park in one of the Congressional Senate parking lots and park with my car against the fence, which meant that I didn't have to turn in my keys. I could leave whenever I wanted. They ended up sort of stacking the cars. I think they do that at the Redskin games. Is that right? Redskin game? Where was it that they were stacking cars? You had to wait, the Catholic Church parking lot nearby. I think I've seen that there too, where they just stack the cars up. So you have to wait for everybody else in front of you to leave before you can leave. And this was true in the Senate parking lots, that they just stacked the cars. And if you got there at that time, I mean, you were happy to get a parking place, frankly. But if you did, you had to turn your keys in. And then even if then, they'd have to move all the other cars in order to get your car out. It was awful. So it was much easier just to get there early, park the car against the fence, and then you could come and go as you, maybe not come back, but you could at least go when you wanted to. But those commutes are no more. Now we go south in the morning or afternoon rather than north. This doesn't mean that there isn't traffic on the way home. Look at that sky. We have sorry about it looks to me like this is part of what was that? This is part of the experiment. I'm not using a special mount. I might get one. This is a mount, one of those simple mounts I bought in the Apple store. And you can just stick it in your, I was going to call it the flapper, the vent, where the air conditioning air comes out. Yeah. But it may bounce around too much, would make everybody, not that anybody's watching this. Maybe some people are. If you are, hi. I can't really read the chat because if I do that, I'll get arrested. I don't want to get arrested, right? I guess now that's the good question. Are you arrested for reading the chat or for actually physically texting? I frankly, both are quite dangerous, for lots of reasons. But if you are, hi. If you're not, you won't know. So I am on the famous Interstate 95. This is an interstate in the United States on the eastern seaboard. It goes all the way from Maine to Florida. When I was a child, it was all still being built because I can remember us spending a lot of time on Route 1 and some other kind of 1920s era roads, probably even earlier. I think a lot of the roads here in the east started off as trails and later became highways. And then freeways. 95, though, it does stretch all that way, so you can literally drive north and south in your car. It takes a few days, but it can be done. I think I've driven myself all the way. Yes, I have. Not all at the same time, but I've driven myself from Florida to Maine on So this is the area around DC. This is 95 North, just south of the Beltway. I was thinking about maybe driving on the Beltway just because it might be a little more interesting than my normal route. So it's kind of out of the way. But you can see, I mean, I don't have to deal with the horrid, although the traffic on the other side doesn't look too bad. I am leaving later than normal. The other side can get terribly backed up for miles, especially if there's been an accident. But it looks pretty, and especially now that school's back in session, it just gets crazy. But it looks pretty nice this evening. The sky is very interesting. I was looking out my window at my office. That sounds exciting right there. And oh my gosh, it looks so stormy. Like any minute now, would have a big thunderstorm, but nothing happened. It just kind of floated by. These clouds are really cool looking, but I don't see any. Isn't that pretty? Boy, it looks pretty cool on the what do you call that? Video. So maybe I will just go my regular route, which is Route 123, later called the Ox Road. I think because there used to be a lot of ox on it. That's the name. There's another one called Rolling Road, and it's because they used to roll, like, I think logs, tied up logs or something down the road, so it's called Rolling Road. Really original names here in Virginia. We're going to go to the roll. We're going to take the Ox Road to the Rolling Road. So this, oh, I should show you Occoquan. Occoquan is so pretty. Oh, no, you can't see the traffic now. I can, but you can't. It is totally backed up. I mean, they're not even moving over there. Oh, I'd hate to go back to that. It'd be horrible. The way I describe commuting now for me is it's all downhill. So even in the morning, I'm going against the rush hour. As I said, the only thing that would really slow it down, and that does happen, are accidents or construction, but not, I don't think you're going to be able to see it on the video, but it is all backed up, and they're all just kind of inching along. So anyway, well, I thought you might enjoy the early commute. The rest of this, I'm sure, is not going to be very exciting. I wish there were some things I could talk about. Oh, I know what I want to talk about. Well, I can't talk about it because I haven't actually seen it yet, which is the Apple event. I was looking at, I was looking at news and stuff just before I left the office. I was in a meeting all afternoon, so I missed it. It was horrible. So I know there's like a new iPad, but I don't know anything about it. I think it's super thin. And a new iPhone 6S. Now, I just got last year. Was it last year that I got it? Has it really been that long? It's almost been a year. The iPhone 6 Plus, which, like, for what we're doing right now, I love this because I can use my iPhone a lot, which I do using the app Waze, W-A-Z-E. Totally recommended. You need a GPS, it is the best. It's totally the best. And I can actually see the road on my iPhone, which I used to have a 4S, and I just didn't even know how horrible that was until I got the 6 Plus. I mean, it wasn't horrible. I mean, I was just so thrilled with Waze anyway, but you can actually see the map, which is kind of helpful. So I know there's a 6S, and I'm curious about what they've changed. It looks like they talked about the iWatch, well, not the iWatch, I keep calling it that, the Apple Watch, which I haven't gotten because I usually try not to get something when it's first introduced. I did get the iPad mini when it was first introduced because I just couldn't wait. So I still have the first generation iPad mini. So I'm interested in what this new iPad is. I like the mini size though better than the giant thing. I don't need to carry around. If I wanted to carry around the giant one, I might as well just get an Air. it's called here. But anyway, I am curious about if they've done anything with the watch, because now I would sort of be thinking about that, and what they changed in the phone. And I have an Apple TV, so I don't know what that is. I mean, is the change in what the TV you already have, your little thingy, your little box, or do you have to buy a new one? I don't know. So that'll be fun to find out. This is Route 123. We're going through what was the prison. That's kind of interesting. Over here on the right is Lorton. Lorton used to be a scary name, and nobody lived here. Well, actually people did. They lived in these houses that are up here, coming up on the right, back when this road used to go straight. It was a 2-lane road on 123, and it went by one of the houses up here was called Prison View Estate. But now it doesn't have a sign. It's just a regular house over on the right. But it was like, was it a medium security prison? I'm not sure. It was a DC prison, and they would have, periodic escapes. And it also caused Occoquan, which is a darling little town on the other side of the Occoquan, hence its name, to not grow much. Oh, you got rear-ended. Now I saw that. Now I just broke the law because I read that, and I know I shouldn't have. So please don't arrest me. I don't know if I can't read or if I just can't type. Like I said, I think both are quite dangerous. But I saw that, and I'm so sorry. Yes, I've seen accidents along here. I've seen some whoppers. I haven't seen no flipovers. I've seen flipovers on Braddock Road. I don't know what it is about Braddock Road. It's like a racetrack sometimes. But, oh, I'm so sorry you got hit. That would be just... People aren't paying attention. There's lots of traffic lights here. And you can be just like me, just blah, 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 and then boom. It's kind of sad. So, yeah, what were we saying? So the Occoquan. So Occoquan stayed cute because who would want to live next to a prison? It doesn't matter how cute the town is. Who wants to live next to a prison? The scary people, right? So it kept it quaint a lot. What's this car gonna do? Okay, it kept it quaint for a long time. There were all these. Oh, is that a fireman? What? Oh, look! There's a big smash. Speaking of which, smashed up cars. Looks like the fireman had to put a fire out. Well, there you go. I'm glad that wasn't you. Oh yeah, you can't. Yeah, exactly. So now that the prison's an art center, Occoquan is like the coolest place to live. They've built all these condos. They've restored all these buildings. There's lots of restaurants. I went to one called Secret Place, Hiding Place. I forget what it's called. It's this cute little in the alley house. Delicious sandwiches. Went there for lunch. Hiding. I forget the name of it, but it was really great. So totally I recommend Occoquan. People still don't really remember that because for so long, I mean, who went to Occoquan except to do antiquing or something or whatever, but now it's quite nice. So, it's looking a little dark up ahead. It's funny to see how thunderstorms come through here. The weather here, I don't know how weathermen do it. In fact, weather people, what do they call now? Weather people. Weathermen sounds like that radical group in the 60s. And of course, men, that you can't say that, so it must be weather. I know there's another word for them. But anyway, I don't know how you would predict the weather in this area unless you've lived here for 20 years. I sometimes weather.com, they predict things and they never happen because they're actually looking at their instruments, and you cannot do that here because just because there's a thunderstorm in the west does not mean it will have anything to do with ending up in the east. And I think it has something. I remember Bob Ryan. Now he totally gets weather. It's sad that he's retired. I don't know, maybe somewhere doing something, but he understood all these extra problems. This is one of the places. Is this it? No, it's at Lee Chapel where they do lots of smashing. I don't think we're there yet. They smash at Lee Chapel. That seems to be a fun place to flip out. But I always think this is Lee Chapel, and it never is. But anyway, predicting the weather here, and I think it has something to do with the Chesapeake, which throws things off. Maybe the Potomac, but I think it's the Chesapeake. Something. I think that throws off the way things can happen here. So there does seem to be a sort of tornado alley that goes out from Centerville, Chantilly, out there somewhere. Lots of tornadoes seem to touch down. Although I don't know how. It's been a while since we've had. I can think of several that have gone right up 236. I remember one time it took the roof off of Woodson High School or something when I was a young one. Okay, so here's Lee Highway. I always try to be careful here because I've just seen so many. I've seen smashes here, and I've also heard about them on the radio. WTOP. So let's see. Oh, I don't know if you can see up there ahead on my lovely bouncing video, but do you have unlimited data? I do. I have Sprint. Isn't that amazing? That's the one thing about Sprint. And actually, Sprint has become fantastic. I have been with Sprint in the dark years when things were very dark. Oh my gosh. So I've been with Sprint for this is not an ad, but I have been with Sprint for many years, and one of the ways they get you to buy their phone is they give you unlimited data. So that's what I have. I don't know that but yeah, I'm sure one day Sprint's going to wake up and go, man, maybe we shouldn't do that anymore. But so far, so good. Walking their dog. Well, I don't want to. I think that's all I'll do for today. I thank you for watching or listening to this, my first scoping event. And, I'll wake up tomorrow and go, oh my gosh, why did I do that? But thank you. I hope you all have a fantastic evening. And until the next time, have a great day. And I'll figure out how to turn this off without smashing the car. Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.